Dun 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 dun. Welcome to That's Good Broncos. I got a new intro, and that's a
and we did pay for the rights.
Yep.
To that song. Cost
If
us
you-
the entire budget, but it's worth it.
Everything Underdog gave for the sponsorship, I just sent it so I can start each show with dun 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 dun.
That's
And
better than playing the actual song.
Yeah, way better. This is That's Good Broncos. I'm Brandon Perner here with Wilkies. Football starts this week.
Yeah.
There's a real Broncos game. Russell Wilson's going to play. Starters are going to play. 15 snaps-ish is what I heard, what I saw, what I read. So, shit, football's back. Well, it's actually back.
Yeah, Hall of Fame game didn't count.
No, never
I
counts.
watched more than I expected to watch from that. I probably watched like 2 quarters.
Wow. Yeah, apparently it was the highest rated Hall of Fame game since like 2018 or something.
Yeah, it was I think it had like 6 million something views. And like the NBA playoffs were averaging like 4.8 or something.
Football is king. We know it.
Football is king. People will tune in to watch Zach Wilson and Kellen Mond, which is just remarkable.
They'll tune in to watch Zach Wilson play limited snaps.
Yeah, we got Zach Wilson on a snap count.
Yeah.
Did you watch Hard Knocks last night?
Couldn't do it.
It was man, I watched the whole thing, but it's kind of a slog.
Is it?
I think our video
right.
has never been more prescient, and the whole time I was like, so it's mostly just like an Aaron Rodgers documentary.
And
That's
what we wanted.
Exactly what we wanted. And the whole part about, I was comparing it to like the original Hard Knocks and them following like 3 undrafted kind of fringe guys. And there was none of that. They just completely, it's not a human show anymore. It's just, let's follow Aaron Rodgers around with the camera. It was cool when he met Liev Schreiber. But other than that, it's just fucking lame. Stupid.
Will's official review. Fucking lame. Hard
Fucking
Knocks.
lame. Stupid. A lot of Nathaniel Hackett, though.
Ooh, Nate Dogg Hackett. Yeah, I just got annoyed with some Twitter idiot who this was like a tweet from like a week or 2 ago when Hackett addressed Sean Payton's comments.
Yeah.
And I tweeted like, it's hard to not like Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah, I mean, of course. God bless you.
Oh, have mercy. Oh, I usually ignore people who say stupid shit on Twitter to me. But I said it's hard to not like Hackett. I respect his response to Peyton's comments. And then this guy was like, never seen a team, Broncos, with so much hype going into last season, have to play with so much dysfunction. Hard not to like, question. This missed the mark.
We don't like him as a coach.
I just hate that there are people like, you can't like him. He made your team bad. How can you? I'm talking about him as a person. You son of a gun.
If you want to follow that logic, I guess you technically could like O.J. Simpson because he ran for 2,000 yards.
Yeah,
doesn't matter what he did off the field.
Yeah.
Oh, Ray Caruth, he was a pretty solid receiver there for a while, so yeah. I like him. Just so annoying. Ray Rice, great goal line back. It's like, fuck, of course you can like someone even if they were terrible at their job. Come on, dude.
And the guy didn't follow me, so I was just like, all right, I'm gonna respond to you, dickhole.
Should have called him dickhole.
I should have.
I like what you've been doing on Twitter lately, especially the NFL top 10 list. Or 15 or whatever. That was just incredible how many people missed it.
Yeah, it was. Alex Singleton. I snuck him into the what is it? Top 15 players in the NFL. So it's like I get on Twitter and I see the same tweet 1,000 fucking times, right? Like
Yeah.
every content aggregators, they're copying and pasting each other's list that's
It's
from the
only going to
NFL
get
Top
worse too
100.
now that they're getting paid.
So it's like boom, 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 boom. I'm like, okay, I don't need to see this 8 times. And I was like, well, what if I just copy this and make one person different? And I was on the toilet, I think. I was like, who should it be? Who should it be? Because I wanted it to be like an underrated guy.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking Bronco either at first. I was just like an underrated guy that not a lot of people are going to know, has a general enough name so it doesn't like stand out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, fuck, Alex Singleton. That's the guy. Let me just put him in at 7.
Yeah, because you could be like, if you didn't watch the Broncos last year, you'd be like, oh, Alex Singleton. Yeah. I mean, I didn't know he's that good.
And there might be people who just think like Alex Singleton is like an edge rusher for the Steelers or something. It's like, yeah, TJ Watt.
Like,
maybe he's
Alex,
the guy opposite. What's
yeah.
Alex Highsmith? Alex Singleton. I don't know.
Yeah, you think like Alex Highsmith, Alex Singleton. Like, oh, I don't really watch the Steelers, but I'm sure he's good.
Sure, yeah.
Seems a little high.
A good amount of people got it. Eric Goodman, local Broncos guy. I got him.
He got burned.
Where did you find this? Alex Singleton is number 7? Question mark.
Found it on the toilet.
Yeah. Ryan Green gave us the Alex Singleton graphic to go with it. So thank you very much, Ryan. That was awesome. But yeah, that was fun. And then I just did the quarterback one and threw in John Elway.
Yeah, I
replaced Jared Goff with John Elway. So,
imagine the Lions with John Elway. But at age 63.
Oh.
Probably not as good.
Got that hand thing.
True.
What is that hand disease that he has or condition?
Carpal tunnel.
No, it's a weird name.
Why do you expect me to know this?
Dupertitis. Let me see here. John Elway hand condition. Dupuytren's contracture. Yeah. I don't know. There's a medication you can take for it that he's promoted, but he's got it in his hand. In addition to no ACL and, all the other things he overcame.
Yeah, I mean, if you can go through a full career without an ACL, hand's no problem.
Yeah.
Not like you need that.
Anyway, I do want to take a second to shout out Underdog Fantasy. They're going to be sponsoring That's Good Broncos this season. You got to sign up. Look at our code. It's Let's Ride, Will.
I love it.
Let's Ride. Link in the description to sign up for Underdog. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. And yeah, I'm working with Underdog on That's Good Broncos, That's Good Sports, GPS. So we need some people to sign up with Let's Ride. Show Underdog that people watch this show. Next week we'll host a private draft. Fuck it. I'll have a private draft in this link, so you can join that one. They're doing the Best Ball Mania tournament. They do that every year. This year, 15 million total prizes. Biggest fantasy contest out there. 3 million to first place. And Best Ball Mania, it's a best ball format that's a little different. You draft your team once, you're done. You're not managing, you're not making trades. They're just using your best cumulative score every single week. And you can put your chips in for that big prize. But they also have weekly winners, a new contest that pays out every single week. $20,000 to first place in weekly winners. That's the one I'm trying to play more of this year because I think you have a better chance to put together a fantasy roster where 1 week out of the season you have the best fantasy score. Like you can do that accidentally, I feel like sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, what I like about Underdog is there's still 5 weeks until football really starts, the regular season at least, basketball months. I like baseball, but it can be hard to watch sometimes.
Sure.
Hit a little like parlay with baseball. Suddenly, you got some sports to watch tonight.
Okay. Well, we don't do parlays in Underdog, Will. We don't
Well,
even,
like the prop bets.
it's called higher or lower, Will. It's
Yeah,
called
whatever.
higher or
All right.
lower. There's specific terminology we use when talking about Underdog, and I will send
Jesus.
you the guidelines so you don't fuck it up again.
Jesus Christ. I was trying to say something nice. That's the last time that'll
Just
happen.
let me do the ad. Just let me do the ad.
All right. Fuck.
When I want your help doing the ad, I will ask for it, which will be soon because you will have to do the higher or lowers. Anyway, Underdog, sign up with our code Let's Ride. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. Also, next week, exciting news here happening. We're partnering with Let's Talk Broncos, the podcast. They've got their YouTube channel, Let's Talk Broncos. It's Joey, it's Zach, it's Bree, and then it will be me and Will, and sometimes one of us, sometimes both of us.
Yeah,
I think every Wednesday we're going to do the podcast with them to provide a better podcast experience for you guys because let's just face it, Will and I get a little busy during football season, and I feel like we do a great post-game Broncos podcast.
Yep.
And then we kind of just midweek recycle what we already said, or we're rushing through it. They're killing it. So we're going to co-stream that podcast with them to the Let's Talk Broncos channel. We're going to do that once a week, and then hopefully more if you guys like it. I think they're doing a tremendous job with their podcast. And then we got Mario, Mile High Mario is going to be dropping some videos for us as well. So we're going to amp this shit up. You thought this channel was slowing down? Wrong. It's speeding up. Not too fast like a lot of NFL players. We're going to go the speed limit. Okay?
It's like Speed. It's like the movie Speed.
Yeah.
We can never go lower than 50 miles per hour or we will blow up.
Or we are forced to watch more Sandra Bullock movies.
Yeah, there's some bad ones out there. Jesus.
Speed was good.
Yeah, Dennis
all right, Broncos training camp. More bad news. Mike McGlinchey sprains his knee. Goes down yesterday. Out, 2 to 3 weeks?
2 to 3 weeks. I don't expect we'll see him until week 1 against the Raiders.
2 to 3 weeks. We'll see him in 5. We'll see him in 5 weeks.
We'll see him in 5 weeks. No reason to play him until then. Obviously, this is not the biggest injury we've gotten so far, but I think in terms of crucial position on the field, we really lucked out that it wasn't worse.
Yeah, we lucked out that it's not worse, but maybe I'm just like jaded because everything at the right tackle position just always goes wrong, no matter what the Broncos do, no matter who the coaching regime, GM, doesn't matter. Right tackle doesn't work. And the guy they paid the most money to this offseason, Mike McGlinchey, was he the highest paid guy? Already sprains a knee. And a sprained knee, it can happen. It could have been worse. He will be back. There's no reason to go like too crazy, but I'm starting to not like what's happening. Tim Patrick done. Jonas Griffith done for the season.
Yeah.
So just like last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Now our right tackle's a little banged up. And this, I think maybe one of the things we haven't really talked a lot about is like, where the fuck is Garrett Bowles going to be at physically in terms of returning from his injury at left tackle? I think we're just like chalking left tackle in as being totally fine. Mm-hmm. And it's not yet, not until he starts to feel comfortable he tore his ACL last year, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah. When you dove after that Raiders player.
No.
I'm just kidding.
That would have been so fitting for last year.
Yeah.
How that would have been
great.
The most Russell Wilson play of all time. Garrett Bowles tearing his ACL while chasing down
a guy who's 10 yards past him.
So yeah, I'm a little concerned about tackles at this point.
Yeah, so they got Cam Fleming is probably the guy that'll fill in.
Yeah.
After that, it's just scary.
Yeah.
And we've already seen, like, the reports that I've seen are that the edge rushers are really dominating the tackles in training camp. And that was before McGlinchey went down. And maybe that just says something about how good the edge guys are.
We better friggin' hope.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously concerning. My perspective is it could have been much worse.
Yeah, no. Like a sprained knee, like I'm not batting an eye if it's I don't know, anybody else really. It's just that position scares me.
Of course.
If Javonte Williams sprained his knee, I'd be scared. But
yeah, I would too.
Yeah, I want that position to no longer be cursed. That's all I'm trying. That's all I'm hoping for.
Yeah, when was the last time it wasn't cursed?
Who's the last good right tackle?
2013, maybe. Who was it that year? Was it Luis Vasquez? He played tackle for a little bit, I think.
Yeah, maybe. I can't remember.
He was good. They lost Ryan Clady in 2013, and it just didn't matter at all.
Yeah,
Peyton Manning was.
But I mean, imagine that offensive Clady was healthy and playing well and was there for them in the Super Bowl. Maybe it helps a tiny bit.
Yeah,
maybe the Broncos lose 43-20.
I just think about not to get too much into it because maybe we'll do a longer form piece on it sometime soon. But we always forget they're missing Von Miller, Chris Harris, Eric Wolf, like three of the best guys on that team in that game.
Yeah. Quentin Jammer was playing.
Quentin Jammer was playing cornerback in 2013 for that team.
Champ Bailey, just a shell of himself.
Yeah, he wasn't great at that point, but he wasn't. I don't remember him getting burned a lot. I just don't remember much of that game.
I don't remember anything from that game outside of, I feel like the first play and then like Demaryius Thomas making a ton of catches and just taking shots like every time he caught the ball. I felt like, but
yeah, after the Percy Harvin touchdown to start the second half, I was like, I'm checking out.
Yeah,
I'm removing myself from this. The Red Hot Chili Peppers, I remember that. It was sad though, because I was looking forward to it and
give it away now.
Yeah, the ball.
Yep.
Anyway, we're not playing the Seahawks. We're playing the Cardinals Friday, 8 p.m. Mountain Time.
I'll be streaming. Will probably join me for the whole game, a half a game. I don't know, however long he wants to stay.
I'll be here.
What's the big story there? It's like the field condition is shit in Arizona.
That's what I saw too. Yeah, obviously, the field was garbage at the Super Bowl,
which
is in Arizona, and doesn't sound like it's gotten much better. So I don't know. Like with that in mind, maybe you don't want to put the starters out there. That's my thought process.
Yeah, you never know. I just don't understand how the NFL can have bad field conditions at any point.
Yeah,
from preseason through the Super Bowl. It just seems like such an easy thing to take care of.
The Broncos literally proved that. They replaced their field for one game at the end of last season.
Yeah.
And not everybody has Walmart money, but like, damn.
Just
make it happen.
Make the field the guys play on perfect every fucking game. It's not the 80s where it's a half a baseball field in the middle of your football field, okay?
Yeah, this isn't the Oakland Coliseum anymore.
We take player safety seriously.
Except
when it costs us money. Can we buy some more Guardian caps? Can we put Guardian caps on more people? What about the field? Will the field give them a concussion? Yes, actually. No, we don't care. We don't care about ACLs, knee injuries.
Whose voice are you doing? Is that Roger?
That's
Goodell?
Roger Goodell. Ladies and gentlemen, come on down to Roger Goodell's fuck palace.
Big Raj.
Yeah. I don't know why he has a fuck palace.
That's his
I mean, if
basement
you're that
from the
rich, you
draft.
probably do, right?
Yeah, it's on an island somewhere in the Caribbean, I'm sure.
I said Goodell, not Epstein.
I'm talking about Goodell too.
Okay.
Legally, I'm just kidding.
Legally, I want to say I was kidding. I love Roger Goodell.
We both love him.
Next thing, what do you got for me, Will?
I don't know. All right. Let me ask you a question. We're gonna watch the game.
Yeah.
What players are you gonna keep an eye on?
Russell Wilson. That's
Okay.
obvious.
Cool.
Edge rushers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be watching Mike McGlinchey and see how he's walking around those sidelines.
Mm-hmm. I know what he won't be doing.
Yeah.
Wearing a Gilligan cap.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm so over Sean Payton. He's annoying to me now.
Yeah. I mean, Sean Payton, I don't really like him. He's like he is just the reverse Hackett.
Yeah. I don't like him, and I think he's going to be a lot better of a coach. I'll deal with that. That's that's a me problem.
A better option.
Yeah. He's annoying to me.
No sideline interviews either.
Yeah. That's also weird. Okay, fine. Like if he wants to be down to business and it gets us wins every week, I will say I admire his hard ass weird approach. I will admit that I'm wrong. Right now, I don't think the Broncos only won 5 games because of which hats they were allowed to wear on the sideline during preseason. That's just my opinion.
I think, maybe they should only be allowed to wear fedoras on the sideline because that's the least cool hat.
It is, for sure.
And that won't give you a sense of entitlement or anything. That's going.
I think they should only be allowed to wear these.
An Irishman's cap?
Look at that.
That's beautiful. I saw that on GPS.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Anyway, sure. I know the overall tone he's trying to set. Like, I understand that. Let's focus on football. Let's get all that shit right. I get it, right? We're doing a video about Belichick. He made a career doing it. It just seems silly to me.
It seems a little
arbitrary, I guess.
I think one of the things I don't like about head coaching transitions for teams from a management perspective is they always push the pendulum too far the other way.
Yeah, we've talked about this from Vance to Vic to Hackett to
Peyton.
Shawnee Boy.
Exactly.
Pepper Peyton.
And they can never quite find the middle ground.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of coaches are good at. And I just didn't know this about Sean Payton, I think, is this wasn't really I don't know if this was part of his persona in New Orleans as much, or if he's kind of adopted it to reset the culture from where it was last year.
That's a good observation. And I think it's just because New Orleans was competitive for so long. Nobody's talking about this shit when your football team's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was already established.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're right. We don't know what
he's good right away.
He had Drew Brees. You know what they don't talk about is the Saints defense has been good for the last 5 years. They've had a really good
since
defense.
2017.
Before that, their defense sucked a lot.
It was awful for 3 years.
Sean Payton was in charge of a lot of horribly constructed defenses that cost them more Super Bowl appearances. And not even necessarily horribly, just not truly playoff ready defenses. So that was one thing over the last week or so, especially with Vance being here. I don't know long term if I buy into them being able to get a good defense out of the Broncos. So that's another question mark, I think, about him. And a lot of their defense got better, right, when Dennis Allen came back, and they built that. And they had great players on defense. So I
Yeah,
think that's
drafted
something to
Marshawn
watch for
Lattimore,
sure.
guys like that. Yeah, I mean, it's weird because he didn't really have a culture. I think when the Saints didn't have much of a culture at all. I think when Sean Payton got there, because the season before was just totally like ruined by circumstances out of their control with the hurricane.
Right.
And it felt like he just like had a blank slate to work with there, and he brought in his own quarterback, and now he's just like working so hard to reverse like the specter of Nathaniel Hackett, the specter of Goldmember.
It was like Vic Fangio. It was like if you're living with your grandpa who grew up who had a career in the military, and
grew up in
like
the
it's just this hard ass thing, and then you move for okay. My story is that you had to go live with your grandparents because something was going on with your parents. So you go live with your grandpa. He's this hard ass guy, but then Nathaniel Hackett comes back. All right, and you go back to your parents, except your parents are really cool with letting you and your friends throw parties and get drunk all the time.
Yeah, but a little too cool.
Yeah. Like you weren't allowed to leave the house after 8 with Grandpa Fangio. And then you're throwing Ragers and your dad's doing keg stands with you and your 17-year-old friends in the basement.
He's like, hey, as long as you guys do it here.
Yeah.
And then he really doesn't enforce anything else either.
And now who is Sean Payton is where we're trying to get.
I think Sean Payton is like our new Mormon dad, our new Mormon foster care dad. He's like, you get one Dr. Pepper a week. That's it.
Yeah. And I thought Sean Payton was a little more chill because like there's a lot of videos that out there of like him celebrating with like players in the locker room and
ripping bongs.
There's that bong ripper. Yeah.
And Laramie Tunsil.
Yeah. But we'll see. Like those are all things we're critiquing because we haven't been good. If the Broncos are good, like I don't care what he does. Like he can be the biggest a-hole for coaches ever. If we're winning, then we'll be cool with it. But for the game Friday, I guess like one thing I want to see is like the run game look respectable.
Yeah.
And because they're going to lean on it a lot more this year, it's going to be a key to their success moving forward. Is Javonte getting some carries or is they waiting another week?
So they asked him and he said he's not sure yet. He knows that he'll play week 2 of the preseason.
Damn. Yeah, that's crazy.
But I hope he maybe just like give him a chance to like pass block or something, but not really give him any carries.
I don't want to see him on the field this week.
I don't either. Like, what's the point? I want to see like Jaleel McLaughlin get a bunch of carries. Apparently he's been who's been lighting it up in training camp?
Jaleel McLaughlin?
Yes, but Deuce Vaughn.
Oh, I know.
Dallas.
I've seen some of those highlights.
I know.
God. We wanted him so bad.
So bad. I'm always right. I've never missed on my evaluations.
Brandon Johnson's been playing well.
Yeah, he's on my list. I wrote him down. Brandon Johnson was up there. I want to see. Apparently, Nick Bonito, I think, like I said, has really been a standout heading into his second season. I would like to see some of that.
Yeah.
And I mean, Brandon Johnson, obviously, because you want to see who steps up in place of Tim Patrick, but that leaves the door open for Marvin Mims as well.
Either one of those guys. And there's such different receivers, right? Like,
oh yeah,
Brandon Johnson 6'2", Marvin Mims 5'11".
Yeah, he's kind of an Emmanuel Sanders type.
Yeah. So those are definitely two guys.
Yeah, I think too. I want to see Drew Sanders just
Yeah, that's a
in
good call.
how they use him because he's a guy who can rush off the edge. He can play kind of in space, drop back in coverage. You can kind of do it all. Um,
Yeah.
so I want to see because obviously they took Baron Browning, who was playing really well as an inside linebacker, moved him to the edge, turned out to be really good there too. Um, so I want to see kind of what their philosophy is there with Drew Sanders. I imagine they'll do a little bit of both.
Going to be hard to beat out the 7th best player in the league, Alex Singleton, but Drew
Of
Sanders, let's keep
course.
an eye on him.
Yeah, I don't
And
want to
then,
see him touch the field. He's too valuable.
yeah, I think the other interesting players at this point are PJ Locke and Caden Stearns. Like I think yesterday PJ Locke got some glowing reviews, and I know Sean Payton spoke highly about Caden Stearns. Stearns may be like he's slotted to be starting ahead of Kareem Jackson, right? At strong safety for the time
Yeah,
being, or
right. What I saw is they're going to use them both in different packages,
that's awesome. That's
which is
that's
great.
promising.
Yeah, but when you want the strong safety a little closer to the line of scrimmage, you probably want Kareem Jackson. If you're in like 3rd and 11, you probably want Caden Stearns.
Yep. So Stearns and Locke, see what kind of reps they get, how they play on the back end. Preseason, I feel like is an area where corners and safeties can look really awesome
Yeah,
because of the quarterbacks that they're playing against and
yeah. And who's starting for the Cardinals? Like Clayton Tune.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Or do they got to go with their starter and Colt McCoy?
God, Colt McCoy's still there.
Poor Colt McCoy.
Oh, Colt.
Clayton Tune, David Blau, Jeff Driscoll. What a roster.
What's Driscoll playing? Tight end?
He plays them all. He's like Taysom Hill. Don't
tell that to Sean Payton.
Yeah, I was just
He's about to trade a 1st-round pick.
Oh, yeah, I saw that Jeff Driscoll. I can play him at tackle, running back, kick returner, punter, and quarterback.
When they call him the Wild Jeff back in 2020, they ran the Wild Jeff a few times when Rippon was starting.
Oh God, I don't know. That's hilarious.
My name is Jeff. I have no memory of Jeff Driscoll starting at quarterback for us.
Dude, there's so many memories of Broncos football I've tried to forget.
Yeah. The last 5 years is just a blur. It's just a blurry collage of bad quarterbacks.
What's been their best game since the Super Bowl 50?
Oh, it might be the Cardinals Thursday night game
where they 2018. Just kicked the piss out of Arizona.
Yeah, they had like 2 pick sixes. Emmanuel Sanders threw a touchdown. Case Keenum was looking good. Phillip Lindsay was running the ball. They've had good games. It's just like
they're always against bad teams though, and like all the other good games are games they almost won. I feel like.
Oh, I'll give you one. 2021 at Dallas.
Oh, you're right.
Was a very complete game on the road. They're up like 30-0.
Yeah, that was a good Tim Patrick game.
Yeah, Teddy was looking good right then.
Teddy 2 gloves.
Signed with Detroit, as you know.
Love it.
Hooker, Bridgewater, Goff, Elway. And a lion, and a real lion on the sideline.
Hot damn. All right. So was it Florio saying that the Broncos, Josh Jacobs holdout, Broncos Chiefs interested in Josh Jacobs?
Okay. Here's the thing.
There.
I don't know if running back is the most pressing need on this team right now. However, if it keeps them away from the Raiders and the Chiefs, I think it's worth it.
Yeah. So are they saying this because they're thinking there's a scenario where the Raiders release Josh Jacobs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
it's an option at this point.
I want to believe Josh McDaniels would be dumb enough to trade Josh Jacobs to Denver or Kansas City, but I don't think he would be that dumb.
He'd probably trade him to the Patriots.
He certainly, yeah. He's like, we'll pay all of his salary. We'll give him the extension he wants, and we're sending him to New England.
Yeah, it's like
for a 7th round pick and Tyquan Thornton, please.
Yeah, it's like when Derek Jeter bought the Marlins and then traded Giancarlo Stanton to the Yankees for like nothing. No, but okay, so 7 games Josh Jacobs has played against Denver. Over 700 yards, 9 touchdowns. Every time he started against Denver, the Raiders have won. The one time he was out, Denver won.
He's our big thorn. So just him leaving is the biggest addition by subtraction for the Broncos within the division. If he leaves.
Yeah. I think ideal scenario, he goes somewhere in the NFC where we're not going to see him for a while. Second best scenario, he signs in Denver. They probably have to overpay a little bit. Third best, stays in Las Vegas. And the worst case scenario is Kansas City. They've
got Isaiah Pacheco. Clyde Edwards-Helaire's still there. They never commit to running the ball frequently. And I think Josh Jacobs is a guy who, I don't want to compare him to Derrick Henry, but I feel like he's got to get his carries before he really starts to, he wears teams down. Like, I don't think he'd be a good fit there. Call me crazy.
Maybe right. Maybe staying in Las Vegas would be the worst.
Yeah.
No, unless it's Jerick McKinnon.
Like the Chiefs could win a Super Bowl while acquiring Josh Jacobs and never play him. He could be the next Melvin Gordon in Kansas City.
Exactly. It doesn't matter who plays running back. It really doesn't matter who plays running back or wide receiver for the Chiefs as long as they have the offensive line, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
And Chris Jones, too.
There's 2 teams that it doesn't matter. It's the Bills and the Chiefs. Like, I don't give a shit who the running back is. Like, everything goes through their quarterbacks, and rightfully so.
Okay. Here's a question for you.
Sure.
Who would you rather remove from the Raiders, Devontae Adams or Josh Jacobs?
Oof. It's hard because the Broncos need it to be Josh Jacobs.
Trick question, Max Crosby.
I
would probably take Adams out of there.
Yeah.
Although
Josh Jacobs had a great season, but Devontae is just one of the best at his position, and he will be for a couple more years.
Yeah.
Devontae would be harder for them to replace too. So I'll say Devontae.
I think, yeah. Well, now that I think about it, Jacobs, I think will be more of a factor with Jimmy Garoppolo starting.
Garoppolo needs him. He needs both those guys, but
yeah. I don't know. I'm curious to see the Garoppolo Devontae Adams connection because he's such a different quarterback than Derek Carr or Aaron Rodgers. All right, Chiefs. Who would you rather remove from the Chiefs? Chris Jones or Travis Kelce?
Kelce.
Yeah, I think so. Although,
dude, we had a problem with Kelce. We've had a problem with him for a long time, but you and I specifically are like, Tyreek Hill's not the Broncos' problem. It's Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
I remember doing breakdowns, you and I, for Broncos and be like, this is the guy who causes them headaches.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of him because like Chris Jones is great. I hate how good Chris Jones is, and he can wreck a line, but Kelce and Tyreek Hill being gone in that situation, Mahomes would still be good. Their offense would still be great, but like Kelce and Mahomes have a very in sync
telepathic.
They're on like next level with that. Same way Brady and Gronk were.
Yeah.
Same way we'll say Shannon Sharp and John Elway just because this is a Broncos podcast. But like, I think that would be
Gates and Rivers.
That would slow down their offense a little bit. It'd cause them some problems.
I totally agree with you. Yeah, I don't even know.
More likely, the Chiefs would get rid of Jones before Kelsey, but
yeah, he's not going anywhere.
No, neither one.
No, he's
Chargers.
Eckler.
Don't care.
Yeah, who cares? Derwin James. Who cares? Bosa.
He'll be injured anyway.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like, well,
actually, if I could take out one Charger, it'd be Derwin James.
Really? For me, it'd be Justin Herbert.
We're not talking QBs.
Yeah. Yeah, but Derwin James is there like half the time.
Yeah. Do you see the thing about Brandon Staley getting anonymously called
unanimously and also anonymously?
Just a bad head coach with a great roster by some NFL personnel exec or some shit.
I feel like we've been saying this for like a couple of years now.
Yeah. You have for sure.
He like just his nerd shit won over the media that first year because he was going for it on 4th and 25 from his own 2-yard line. And they're like, oh, he's a genius. And then it turns out he couldn't stick to his guns on that. And then he just passed all the blame to Joe Lombardi, who's our guy now. And if it doesn't work with Kellen Moore, everyone's going to put the blame on Staley, which they already started to, thanks to that Week 18 game where he kept starters in for way too long, lost Mike Williams, and then, they blew a 27-0 lead in the playoffs in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Well done.
He's done a lot of dumb things. He's done a lot of the dumb things that Nathaniel Hackett did that are, like, easy to see that they're dumb.
Yeah.
But it's never gotten the heat that Hackett did. So
yeah, I mean, because Denver's it's just a bigger market than LA.
Yeah. My projection is Kellen Moore is the next head coach of the Chargers.
I can see that.
Book it. Clip it. Come back and dream it. All right. We talked about everything we need to talk about. Again, we'll do another pod after the Broncos game, maybe this weekend, assuming we have time. I haven't checked with Will yet, but we'll be live during the game.
Make it happen.
Stuff's getting real. Don't forget to check out our friends at Underdog. Sign up with our link below. Use the code Let's Ride. Even if you don't want to play, just use the code Let's Ride. Come on.
Do it.
Come on.
Please.
We will not let this die. Has Russell Wilson moved on from this phrase? Sure. Have we? No. Never.
I'm not going to say anything about Underdog anymore.
Good. You learned your lesson. Oh, wait.
Cage.
Underdog Fantasy. Don't forget I put up the disclaimer. So everything is now legally legit. Despite all the stuff that Will said that was wrong.
I'm sorry for trying to help. It won't happen again.
All right. We've made it through the podcast. Good night.
And John Elway plays entire career without an ACL.
And Duperchin's contracture.
Diaper chin.
Good luck.